theatres. And if you're in London, you've got a little bit of time, you fancy taking a show in, my tip, try that out first. You can get a ticket in there for tonight for the Grapes of Bath, £10 a ticket. Most expensive ticket in there is £89. Now National Theatre, well worth a go actually. So on the right hand side, you've got this red white building with the tower above it. It's Oxo Tower. It's been there since 1931, and it was the headquarters of a company that makes these stock cubes. They've been making these for over 130 years, and they're well known in the UK because they're Oxo. When they opened this building, they quickly got took to court because this river is a royal highway and no advertising is allowed on the Royal River because of its royal status. So they got took to court for breaching the advertising rules. They employed a really clever barrister who argued the case with the judge and said, no, Your Honour, that doesn't spell out our company name, it's just pure coincidence, we just ordered witness. Now, for it's like bright at night and red, and you can see it for miles around. No. So he argued the case with the judge bought it, threw the case out of court, they got to keep their skyline advertising. It's the only place in the river where you will see any advertising due to the royal status. Some people say the judge never worked again because he became a laughing stock. I'll tell you those some bad jokes. So we're going down the Blackwater Bridges here. I'm going to get up on the other side, you'll get a really good view of St Paul's Cathedral on your left hand side. This is the big version of St Paul's Cathedral. The block one, which was the biggest building in the world, burned down in the Great Fire of London in 1666. We employed a British architect, Sir Christopher Wren, to design and build its replacement, and it opened Christmas Day 1711. And on the top of it, you can see a 60-foot cross. You will be surprised that that's what you'd expect to see in the church. But when he designed that place, Christopher, he wanted to put a 60-foot pineapple on the top of that. And that's because the stewards wanted this open.
तो कैसे तो खास मिल जाओ मुझे
The church said, no, we ain't having none of it. It's got to be a cross. Which is the main entrance to St Paul's Cathedral. Golden pineapples. He got his way, Sir Christopher. Now you know that those pineapples are there, you will see pineapples all over London. Because at the time, when that place was built,
और घर में थे
Shakespeare's garden was one building with a factory, not the original set.
हमारे घर में थे
Sam Wanamaker, famous American film director, came over to the UK in the 1970s, was horrified not to find anything that played Shakespeare, so him and his daughter set about having that built as replacement. Just like Shakespeare's time, there's a red flag flying above that today, so that means there's a play on there, and it's a red flag, it's a history flag. If it was a white, it would be a comment, and if it was a black, it would be a president. Just the way that Shakespeare used to communicate about his plays. So this part on the right hand side, one of the oldest parts in London, has been on that side for over 800 years. Shakespeare used to sit in there writing his plays, and sitting there, well likely visitors who find it. Coming up into view in the left hand side here, you'll see the top of it, a stone column with a golden top. That is the monument to the Great Fire of London. The fire raged for 4 days and 4 nights in 1666. Virtually destroyed all of London. Amazingly, only 6 people died during the fire because it spread quite quickly, but it was massively savage. So much so that 85% of Londoners became homeless due to the strength of the fire. As we come out of this Blaine Bridge, we get a really good opportunity to get a photo of everything inside. It stands 311 steps high, and if you lay the photograph the very top of that stone, golden orb at the top, would be in the exact same place where the baker shop stood in Pudding Lane where the fire started. Now we've just come through that really grand boring bridge, and this is the one that you all come to see, isn't it? The one they call the iconic and beautiful London Bridge, yeah? Well, that's just beyond it. This is Tower Bridge, right? So don't worry if you got it wrong, because everyone knows. If you Google London Bridge, it will show you images of this bridge ahead. Okay? So I'm going to come and stand at the back of the boat, so I'm not in your photos, because this is what you've come to see. Please remember to stay seated so that our captain can see where we're going, and everyone else gets an opportunity for a photo. On your right-hand side here, a World War II battle cruiser, the Belfast. Built on St Patrick's Day, 1938, built in the same dockyard as the Titanic at Parliament Wharf in Northern Ireland. This ship served throughout the Second World War, and then the Korean Theatre, considered to be a very lucky ship. It fired some of the first shots of the D-Day landings 80 years ago this year. And after the Korean War, it Museum stepped in and asked the British government if they could buy it off them to turn it into a floating naval museum, which is what they did, and they paid £1 for that ship. So coming up ahead of us, Tower Bridge. Not as old as it looks, built to look deliberately older than it actually is. It opened in 1894. It's built to look to be deliberately older so it blends in with this place up on the left, the Tower of London. Now, when you're waving to the bridges, you need to get a wave off the people on this bridge. And that's because, so let's start waving. If you get a wave back, you and everyone on the boat will get 5 years good luck. So there we go, we're getting loads of it. So, and that is because this is a true Edwardian tradition. When sailors used to leave this port, they would be unlikely to return for 5 years. So they would come up onto the top decks of their ships, they would wave at their families who would be gathered on the bridge above, their families would wave back and they would all get 5 years good luck. So there's a bus just going over this bridge. So I'll tell you a true story involving Tower Bridge and a double-decker bus. One night, 1952, Albert Gunther, a London bus driver, was driving his bus across this bridge. What he didn't know was the lights were out of action, telling him to stop because the bridge was about to lift. As he got to this middle bit, the bridge, the Bastille Bridge, actually started to raise beneath him. And it ended up with a 12-foot gap between his side and the other side of the bridge. He didn't know what to do, Albert, so he floored it. He put his foot down and he accelerated his bus over the gap and his bus took off and landed safely on the other side. No one on the bus was hurt, no one was injured. Albert was hailed a national hero and given 10 whole English pounds and a day off of work. But the story don't end there, because on that bus there were 2 people who were due to get married later that year, and Albert ended up driving the bride to the church on her wedding day in that very self-same London double-decker bus, and he was also the groom's best man on his wedding day. So that's a 100% true story about Tower Bridge. Should we get away with anyone else? Come on, she wants to. You know you want to. Come on, you know you want to. She must not come around here. So on the right-hand side is the Tower of London. If you look along the river back there, you can see some words saying entry to the Traders Gate. That's the original one-way ticket for going into the tower. 13 people went through that very gateway into the Greater Tower in small boats, never to return. They were executed within the grounds of the Tower of London. 2 of the wives of King Henry VIII went through that very gateway and never came back. To be executed in the tower was considered a royal privilege. Commoners, like most of us, we all got executed at the back of Tower Hill, up on Tower Hill, and 112 people were executed over a 400-year period up there. This place has been many things during its time. It's been a prison, a place of torture, execution, it's been a zoo, a royal mint, an armoury, the home of the crown jewels. If you come to London, you should do a tour of the tower. Just pay your admission fee, don't pay for one of the unofficial tours. But on the hour, in there, every day, you've got the Yeoman Warders, or the King's Bodyguards, the Beefeaters as they're more commonly known. They will take you on a tour of the tower, free to do, tell you all about the 950-year history in there. Fabulous thing to do, really interesting. If you don't do it, you're missing out. The only tradition is that you give the Beefeater, because he's done you a tour, give him a tip, and then you get an extra fat, not just the Beefeater. Guess what? Any London tour by the tip, you get another 5 years. I'm dishing it out on this boat, you won't believe it. So, but it is worth doing. So on the left-hand side, you're on the Belfast, you've got the Shard, or the Shard of Light, its official name. The tallest building in London and actually in Western Europe. It's 310 metres high, just under 1,000 feet. There'll never be another building taller in the UK, because if it was, it would interfere with air traffic passes above it. In there, they've got bars, restaurants, cocktail bars, hotels, office blocks, apartments. Recently, there was an apartment up for sale in there, 48 million quid. For your 48 million quid, you can't open a window and you can't have a cat. There's also an observation deck in there, 40 quid to go up. But if you haven't done it, my advice is give that a swirl. Don't do that one. Do this one on your right. This one over here is called the Sky Gardens, or the walkie-talkie. And up the top of there, you can see people on an outdoor observation deck. Free to do. Just Google Sky Gardens, book the slot, up you go. They've got bars, restaurants, cocktail bars, and the garden up there. Really good thing to do. It does get busy, so if you can't get the time slot you want, then just book the cocktail bar. Up you go, 14 pounds. But I've stayed out there many times. Lovely thing to do, especially on a day like today. So coming up ahead of us, this is London Bridge. Like I say, not the one behind us, this Tower Bridge. This was where the first bridge was ever built in London by the Romans back in 30 AD when this place was called Londinium. There's been a bridge on this site for over 2,000 years. This one dates from the 1970s. The previous bridge, the Victorian one, that was starting to sink. So we actually put it up for sale so that we could finance the rebuilding of the new one, this one. And an American guy stepped in, William Peter Cullen Boyle from Arizona in Lake Havasu in Arizona, US of A. He bought the old bridge, $2.5 million, and took it lock, stock and barrel all the way back to Lake Havasu, which is where it still sits to this day. So another opportunity for a good photo of the monument on your right hand side between these two buildings. You can go up that, as I said, 311 steps. I used to go up that as a kid when I was with my granddad when it was free. Now it's £6, but it is worth doing. So London Bridge, most of you probably know that famous British nursery rhyme, London Bridge is falling down, where we sing it, we go, London Bridge is falling. We sing the chorus 3 times, London Bridge is falling down. This is Cannon Street Railway Bridge. Not anything particularly fantastic about this bridge, but the building on the right, which is the concourse for the railway station, you've got these lovely stone brick columns made of London yellow stocks. And in the middle, quite a modern railway station. When the war broke out, this building was beautiful. It had in it a real Art Deco, fantastic looking railway station. So the government was really concerned that it would get bombed during the war. So what they did was they dismantled the railway station to protect it, and they took it away from this site, and they stored it in a warehouse over in East London. They're not electricity. And it's because of this bridge's history, so it's got a bit of a romantic side to it, and if you've seen the film Mary Poppins, it probably looks familiar. It didn't reopen again until 2003. It reopened in a blaze of glory and it was renamed the Blade of Light. We still call it the Waverley Bridge. On your left-hand side, the Tate Modern, the old Bankside Power Station. Single biggest gathering of modern art in one place. It was built during the Second World War built by the Women's Land Army. All the men were off fighting. The only people who were left to build the bridge was the Women's Army. They ended up building the bridge, and for the first time and the only time in London's history, the bridge came in on time and under budget. So if you want something done, you want it done right, you know how to get to do it. On our right hand side, this white building with a single flagpole, that is the world famous London Savoy Hotel. London's first purpose-built luxury boutique hotel. Opened in the mid-1880s. Anyone famous you can think of has stayed there. Monroe, Chaplin, Laurel and Hardy, Kennedy, Churchill, the Obamas, everyone stayed there. We can all stay there if we want to. Bog standard room, it's 18 grand a night for a 3-night minimum. So just let me know as we come back to it. This is the last opening day, so we've got to get the cleaners on after you guys have all gone off. And so if you do need to loo, pop in the county or the owner Merlin where you brought it up here. They should still be open and the toilets in there are free to use. And if they're not, then just pop down here to the south back. There's a public house there. So we're just going to come across now and we'll board up by the pier where you docked. It used to be run from. The country is run from there, over on the right, Parliament. London used to be run from here on the left, the GLC, Greater London Council. Maggie Thatcher came to power 1979, took it down, kicked them all out. Every London borough ran itself independently, and that place sat empty for about 15 years until this thing opened, the London Eye. And then Merlin came along and made this their headquarters, so you got it here, Shrewsbury Adventure, London Dungeon, and the London Aquarium as well as the hotel. And then, like I say, this thing opened in the year 2000. So a couple of bits about this. There's 32 pods on here, and that's because there's one pod for every London borough. London is made up, or the Greater Metropolitan London area is made up of 32 boroughs, so there's one pod for every borough. If you get on it and you find yourself in pod 33,